Hello. Did she have legs? Cái bào lắm á. Ah, good.
We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, bi thứ pháp hội cấp nhớ thiết chúng sanh. Thính chuyên diệu phạm luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đàn Chủ Sư Chế Đô Ye La Hơ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Ta Đắc Tha Tô Già Đà Già La Đế Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai, Jian wan jie nan zao yu, wo jin jian wen de shou qi, yuan jie ru lai zhe shi yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Huineng, Great Master Xuan Hua, all good monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors, 阿弥陀佛。诸佛菩萨、六祖之父上人，各位出家人，各位善知識，阿彌陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa lục tổ, hòa thượng Thiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và các vị thiện tri thức, A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone. Today is the 11th of March 2023. We're here in Go Forest to continue discussing the Sixth Patriarch Sutra. Sorry, I messed up. Thank you all for coming. Right now on slide 9 of chapter 4, concentration and wisdom. You're talking about teaching about concentration and wisdom, and possibly the relationship between concentration and wisdom. All right, let's jump right into it. Sutra text. If you understand this principle, you understand the balanced study of concentration and wisdom.
若是此意，即是定慧等学。
Okay, he says there, whatever principle he's talking about. Oh yeah, the substance of wisdom. In the wisdom there is concentration, and concentration is wisdom. So he says, you understand this principle, you will see the balanced study of concentration and wisdom. So the point here is that to practice, in our style of practice, we put an equal emphasis on concentration and wisdom. Therefore, it's simply not enough for us to simply cross our legs and call it meditation. Call it Chan. Chan is right here, balanced study of concentration and wisdom. So we teach you how to develop samadhi. At the same time, we also need to help you build up your wisdom as well. All right? 11. Students of the way, do not say that first there is concentration which produces wisdom, or that first there is wisdom which produces concentration. Do not say each is different.
诸学道人莫言先定发慧，先慧发定，个别。
Okay, he immediately destroys the typical way that the students in Buddhism are taught, that concentration unfolds wisdom. So meaning that first there's concentration, which then produces wisdom. He says, wrong. And he also says, or the other way around is also not true. Meaning that you have wisdom which produces concentration. Okay? Do not say that each is different. 13. To hold this view implies a duality of Dharma.
作此见者，法有二相。
Okay, Dharma here is cap, the Buddha Dharma. So we teach you Buddha Dharma, okay, this is what he's referring to. Duality of Dharma. The meaning that it's not so much duality in a general, concept of duality. Explained in greater details in Avatamsaka Sutra. He says here, duality of Dharma here, meaning there are two separate things. So the jargon in Mahayana, in Chan, is mark. Different mark is a characteristic, if you will, something observable, so that they're different. Two marks meaning they're different entities. Okay? That dharmas, these two dharmas have two marks, if you will. Okay? Next, 15. If your speech is good, but your mind is not, then concentration and wisdom are useless because they are not equal.
口说善语，心中不善，空有定慧，定慧不等。
I don't remember all these sections. Usually when we learn Master Huineng's teaching, you learn a big deal, so you don't think about, concentration, wisdom are the same, and then he says your speech is good, but your mind is not, then there's no point talking about concentration and wisdom, because they're not equal. So it's kind of cool that, what he's doing? What he's doing is destroying all your prejudices. See, he's well aware of, even though, oh, hello, did you have lunch? No, the other one had lunch. You in front. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. So, yes. Question number 2.
So, Master, please don't chop my heads off.
What? Do that?
I just remember right before this, last week, when we talk about wisdom, samadhi, and precept, you were saying the substance of the samadhi is like a vertical development. The way you train us is we go vertical first, which is faster, and then we develop horizontally, and then the horizontal developments are wisdom and the precepts or the use. So that seems to be different from what the previous slides were saying. So maybe I'm just too attached to what you were saying before.
Yeah, so Chinese. They take everything literally. Hey, it looks better, the lips. Yeah, hot lips. Okay. Yes and no. Okay. The way I explained to you, I separated concentration and wisdom and precepts as the way it's typically explained to you. Okay, because that's how people the way are trained, students the way you talk to all of them. Okay, they're all taught this way. Okay, and that's the corporate line of view. That's the traditional way of teaching. Master Huineng here, he says, I'm well aware of the fact this is how you were taught. This is what you believe in. This is your experience has been in learning Buddhism, in learning Chan. However, okay, what I'm doing with you is that, boys and girls, it's time for you to understand the ultimate Chan teaching. Ultimate Chan teaching is that it's not separate. They're all one and the same. Okay, what happened is that it's just like you take this whole thing here, and you present it for people who are limited by one facet called concentration, the other facet called wisdom, the other facet called precepts. Actually, they're all part of the same thing. Okay, it's like a faceted piece of thing. Okay, and so that's what he's referring to. When you first start out, it's too overwhelming for you to learn all three things at the same time. So it's easier, it's more digestible. So we'll give it to you in bite sizes. Okay, so we presented you in terms of precepts, in terms of concentration, in terms of wisdom. Okay, and actually, the truth of the matter is that you go back to all the Chan teachings I gave you in the past 16, 17 years. You notice that the sit is about concentration. The sit is you sit there, you grind it out. So you build up your concentration. And as soon after that, we spend an hour, which is more than when typically, Chinese people, you're laughing. But typically, the Chinese, Master Xuan we spend 20 minutes, I spend an hour to talk to you. Okay? And that should tell you the focus I have on teaching you about wisdom and precepts. Okay? However, if I said, next hour I'll be teaching you about precepts. He says, I don't need precepts. I like to break precepts. You don't need to tell me. Okay, you walk out of here. Okay, so it's still there's too much of an echo here. Hello? See? It's still an echo. So the point here is that we teach, actually in the past, we teach all three in one session. Okay? But we never put it that way for you. And now the 6-page chart is forcing us to admit to you that I've been pulling your legs all these years. Haven't been simply teaching you about concentration alone. I've been teaching you about precepts and blessings. And none of you has been sharp enough to catch it. And now here, he's forcing me to admit it to you. That because you cannot teach samadhi without precept, without wisdom. It's not possible. It's the same thing. It's the same three-headed animal. Okay? Okay? You cannot separate them. You separate them, it's not the same anymore. It's no more fun. You know? It's like, what is the analogy? It's like eating Korean food without kimchi. Eating Cantonese without oyster sauce. Okay? They come together. That's a good question. Wei Mountain.
No, louder. Master, for concentration, I can hear myself.
But I can hear you, that's all that matters.
Master, for concentration, in workplace we work 8 hours, fully focused on the job. Does that concentration help towards cultivation? I also want to know what is the difference in the state of mind when we concentrate reciting mantra versus concentration at work, the quality of mind.
You're asking, I want you to realize you're asking a beggar. Okay? And a guy who's unemployed, professional, unemployed person. And you want to ask me about work? This guy still doesn't get it. All we talk about is theory. Okay, what's concentration where you are right now at the temple versus concentration at work? Is that what the question is? Is that fair way to paraphrase it? Okay.
Yep.
Before I answer that, okay, may I ask you, when you there at this beautiful temple called Wei Mountain Temple, so far so good? And you concentrate. What do you concentrate with, sir?
Mind.
Mind? Good guess. Yeah, your mind, yes? We agree, right? Everyone agrees, right? So when he's there, he meditates, he concentrates with his mind. When you go to work, and you concentrate, and you need to do your work, what do you concentrate at work with?
Again, it's mind and
Mind too. Hallelujah. You see that? See the connection? Connection is that when you go to work alone, you concentrate. That's what everyone does. Yes?
yes.
When you go to the temple, what do? We train you to increase the concentration at the temple. Okay? So when you go to work, when you need to concentrate, which mind do you plan to use? The same mind before or the better mind?
Better mind.
Better mind. All right. You answer yourself. Does it help?
That helps, Master. So I wanted to ask, can I then use my work as a spiritual practice too? Can the concentration at workplace help the concentration at the temple?
I don't understand the question.
So, Master, can I then cultivate concentration at the workplace? Can that also help towards concentration at the temple?
Does concentrating in the workplace help the concentration in the temple?
Yes, yeah, like so.
You agree with me that concentration in the temple helps concentration at work? Yes?
Yes.
Now, you're telling me, how does concentration at work help concentration in the temple? I leave it to my disciples, my beloved disciples, my true disciples. How does concentration at the temple help concentration? How does concentration at work help the concentration at the temple? Wow, the lips are sexier than before. Okay, yeah. How does concentration at work help the concentration at the temple? And this guy is so curious. He wants to know everything. He wants to know A implies B. What about B? Does B implies A? Yes? Mathematically speaking. He's no mathematician. Okay? What do you think? How does, I'm asking you now, let's forget about him, okay? I'm asking you, when you concentrate at work, how does it help the concentration at the temple? Does it? No answer. Does it help? Yes, sir, it's 5.
Amitabha Master, if you concentrate very well at work, you surely get paid. And then when you have money, then surely you go to the temple. So it helps other way too.
I'm so disappointed at you. Everything comes back to money. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Master, if morally he can focus at work and then also recite the Buddha's name at work, then that can help him out in the temple too.
You recite when driving? No, you
If he can
don't.
recite Amitabha as many times all day, that can then help him at the temple.
Okay, very good. Okay. Concentration at work, clearly according to someone who said it, concentration at work clearly helps concentrate at the temple, because he's so focused on money, which is unfortunate, okay? We really are not money obsessed, are we? I mean, okay? Life is not just money. I mean, life is not about money, okay? How about when you concentrate at work, okay? I'd like to point out to you, something is often overlooked. It's okay, let them be. It's often overlooked. It's no way the boy can scream louder and I can crank up the volume, okay? Oh, yeah, okay. See, it's a form of training of concentration. You concentrate on me instead of the screaming of a kid who's probably dying or something. Okay, so the point here is that when you concentrate at work, there's an often overlooked aspect of our lives that modern day people fail to take into consideration. To me, I go to work not alone because it helped me bring money back to my wife, okay? And my beloved children, my beloved son and children, okay? Yeah. But also to me, what's very important that's often overlooked until you retire is that there is certain satisfaction in doing a good job. That you feel good about yourself. There is certain pride in your self-worth. It is often overlooked to me. Okay? It gives you dignity. It gives you self-respect. Okay? And I submit to you, the people who practice Chan are the ones who have a lot of self-respect. They are a lot of dignified people. And of course, money helps. Makes the wife happy. Women are shallow. No? Okay. I take it back. Women are not shallow. Men are shallow. Okay. So does it help, sir? Do you agree? Is concentration works both ways. Okay, and don't discriminate so much about why do I need to concentrate at work? Why do I need to concentrate at the temple? You're dissecting something that cannot be dissected. We are who we are. We think all the time. Okay. And the way you are, for example, you go to the work, I know you give 100% of yourself, okay? And you come to the temple, it's the same person who also gives 100% of himself, except he, at the temple, he said, I hate this pain, I hate this pain, I hate this pain! That's the only difference. It's still the same person, okay? You just need to separate. The only thing you need to understand is that you come to the temple because of two things. Number one, it makes you feel better. It charges you up after you leave. You go to work the next day and you find yourself, for example, being able to work longer hours and having more energy, more enthused. Okay? And in particular, you yourself, I know, for example, would not be as afflicted by your subordinates. You like that? I'm watching you. You see? So it's no need to analyze too much, okay? Because that's what we call TNT, okay? Die no mind, okay? Too much thinking. Stop thinking so much. Just when you're there, I offer you a different, very simple approach for you who are intellectual or too smart for your own good, okay? You're overthinking. You're analyzing too much. You're trying to understand too much. Okay? And that's thinking right there. That's what you spend your entire day doing. Analyzing, thinking, analyzing, processing. Okay? All I ask of you at the temple is stop doing that. Just for the heck of it. And see what happens. Because you do that outside of the temple anyway, naturally. When you come to the temple, habit energy. So the cool thing about the temple, our temple in particular, I want all of you, this is not for him, but all of you, when you go walk into the temple, stop processing, stop scheming, stop worrying about your bank, stop worrying about your family. You know, they're still there, trust me. Okay? So just stop worrying, stop analyzing so much, just relax, and let go. Okay? And that alone there will be tremendously useful to you because you worry too much. All of you worry too much. You're under tremendous stress, tremendous pressure. And how about just coming to the temple for half an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours? Just relax and enjoy yourself. And give your mind a break. Okay? And say, okay, I don't care. I worry about it later. Let me enjoy the food now. Let me enjoy, the toys. See, he's ignoring me. Okay? You see, just let go for the heck of it. Okay? And that's very important because it teaches you to learn to relax when you're supposed to relax. Because most of you cannot relax. True or not? You're always thinking. You're so worried. You're worried, you're thinking. The thinking is actually a sign of your worries. It's a sign of greed. Take it easy. Okay? Go into neutral, a park. Let your engine idle for a little bit. You have plenty of time to crank it up later. Okay? That's all. And so you learn to live. Not just be pulled by events outside of you. At work, it's like work, and then your subordinates, your bosses, and so forth, is always pulling you in a certain direction. At the temple, now all of a sudden, you are pulled by, I don't know, why do you pull at the temple? I don't get pulled at all, so I don't care. Remind me what happened to you at the temple. You see, you go to the temple, you are still pulled by this person, that person. You say, did he take a shower? Did Master take a shower? Drop everything. Relax. Okay? And see how you can learn to relax when you are supposed to. Whereas most of the time you cannot. That's you. You're thinking. You're constantly processing. Okay? How do I know? How old are you?
35.
35?
45.
45?
Yes.
And your hair is salt and pepper already.
That has been that way for a decade, Master.
For how long?
I think it turned to gray in my early 30s.
Early 30s? Whew. You worry too much. The white is because, can I share your secret? You women in particular pay attention, okay? Unless you're like older, okay? Then it doesn't matter. But for most people, especially the girls who are starting to have gray hair and try to pull them off in the morning, so that no one would notice. Don't do that. You go bald very soon. Just kidding. The reason your hair turns gray, usually prematurely, because at 45 you're not supposed to have gray hair yet. Agree? Maybe 46, but not 45. Okay? I'm very scientific about these things, okay? So you're not supposed, you have premature gray hair because worries. You worry about things that you cannot resolve. Anyone? Hi, Hitler. Okay, please don't take me wrong. This is not Hi, Hitler. This is. You see, you worry too much. That's why I want you to know when girls, when you see a man you want to marry, look at him. He worries like, great, let's marry him. He worries for you. On your behalf. Okay? It happened to me because there's a point in time. It happened to Master Shuinon, for example. It's a funny story. He was building he got a piece of land in Hong Kong. And so he decided to build a temple. And at the time, he's unknown. He had no connection whatsoever. But he decided to build a temple anyway. So he had no money, and he had no support. And he started building. And pretty soon he said, one day I realized, because he even forgot to shave his hair, and his hair turned white. He worried too much. And he said after he finished building a temple, he stopped worrying, hair turned black again. When I first came to Lu Mountain Temple, my late mother is still alive, and she was, God bless her heart. She's giving me so much grief. My temple hair was turning white hair. I don't know if my disciples noticed that. I couldn't figure out how to beat her up and not look unfilial. Okay? And I was turning white hair. And then after she moved out, involuntarily, my hair turned black. Gradually. Okay? You over-worry about things you cannot solve. Okay? And this is what Chan can help you. In that you do what you do right now, and instead of beating yourself, okay, you cross your legs. Okay? And I need to learn how to train to cross your legs. Because when you cross your legs, when you face with a problem you cannot solve, okay, that's when you can come up with a better solution than otherwise. For example, I personally, whenever I have to make a big decision, I never do anything until I cross my legs. And then I relax, and then invariably something would come up naturally. Okay? And that's the advantage of Chan. Okay, enough of this, enough. Okay. When your speech is good, but your mind is not. Okay, and then what's concentrated wisdom is useless. Okay, what does it have to do with speech and mind? Concentration and wisdom are useless if the speech and mind are not good. What does it have to do with it? Does it even bother you? Huh? No? What is even mind here? What does speech and mind have to do with wisdom and concentration? No one ever asked. You know, it's funny, the Chinese ever asked this. I explained this chapter once before, 3-4 years ago, and no one asked either. Why? Okay, the young lady in the back there, stop whining. Go away, pain. You're not nice. Huh? You're not the only person. The younger people than you who are doing the same thing, but they do it in mentally. They say, go away, I don't like this, go away. You know what I mean? Okay? You don't understand Chan, young lady. Chan training is this. If it hurts, okay, you endure it. You don't do anything. You just, I'm going to be like a man. I take it. You do like this. The ghost there, it says, ha, 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 ha. You see? Imagine if eventually this lady will open her spiritual eye, she'll see a ghost standing right there. They're all standing. Okay? Take it. Because if you take it, the pain goes away quicker. If you keep on fighting and say, especially some people, like smart people like you, he says, I don't have to take this. Yes or no? You people who cannot take the pain, I say, I'm smart. I figured out a way to do this without having pain. See, that's why it hurts so much for you every single time, because that I got to figure out how to get rid of this pain. No, it's not Chan training. Chan training is take it like a man. Huh, boy? See? You see? See? And that's what this is about. Don't listen to yourself. You're too smart for your own good, like the salt and pepper guy back at Wei Mountain Temple. He wants to understand everything. Chan is not about understanding. Chan is about enduring it. And that's something that no one ever taught you how to do. You never taught the importance of taking it. Especially young men. And you will become a young man soon. Okay? Young men nowadays are not taught to learn to endure it. Why? Because you parents are too soft. You uncles and nieces are too soft. You said, I suffered so much. Huh? I worked so hard so that I can provide for my children, my nephews and nieces, so that they don't have to suffer as much as I do, which is not a good thing for them. Kids need to endure hardship in the family, folks. That's how you prepare them for life. You don't shelter them so that when it's time for them to leave the family roof, they are unprepared for the hardships and the heartaches and the trials and tribulations from the people who are difficult, like the bosses, like the girlfriends. See, he's laughing. You like girls too, huh? See, I'm telling you, you want to have girls in the future? You better learn how to handle it right now. Ask them, would you like a boy who's soft? And say, oh, mama, what do I do now? Competition, clearly. It's cute or not cute. Okay? So that's why Chan training is what you really need, because your parents never taught you that. Your parents never taught you to endure hardship and take it. Because all they taught you, all smart parents like to teach you, is figure out a way to get around the problem. And we never taught to endure hardship. I mean, yes or no? My parents didn't teach me to endure hardship. It's just you smart, you figure out a way to get around the problem. Okay? I was never taught to endure difficulties. And what happened is that because you're too smart, when you face difficulty, something you don't like, okay, you try to figure out a way to not endure it. And young men, girls look at you. You want to chase girls? Girls say, I want to be difficult. If I'm worth it, he will pursue me. And that's why we learn to endure difficult tease. Huh? And you do that, girls like it. Yes or no? See? But it doesn't work the other way around. Be careful. How does it work the other way around? Tell us. I never knew. Okay? Girls, they said, don't make me endure it. Look at her. Where should I? Where's my pressure point? Where's all my training? Where's the pressure point to relieve the pain? It's right behind your knees. Anyway, it's right behind your knee. You reach behind it. You press that pressure point there, it will release the leg pains. Of course, I know a few tricks. Well, I'm not teaching you. Okay? A yes way mountain.
Master, so the text say that the mouth, your speech is good, but your mind is not. What about the other way around? Is that your speech is evil and bad, but your mind is purely good?
Then the concentration and wisdom are useless because they're not equal. But what has to do with speech and mind versus concentration and wisdom? What's the relationship? Why? What does it mean? What is the connection between speech and mind and versus concentration and wisdom? There's a problem with translation. Way bound.
Hello, Master. So would you say that the what we say reflects how we think and the kind of thoughts that we have?
Getting close. Very Catholic, but yeah. Anyone else? Can I explain it to you in terms of chasing girls? Would you be interested, or the adults say, we're beyond it? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
The mind is the samadhi, and then mouth, or how do you use the samadhi, is the wisdom?
No. Girls. Anyone else? Yes, the other girl.
Does it mean that you're up to something?
Getting hot. Anyone? Huh? Let me explain to you in terms of chasing girls. Okay? You like a girl. Okay? And what do? You need to bake them. You need to bake them. So you really need to come up with different things to say that will sway them. Okay? The speech is good. That's what it means. You focus and say, "Ooh, she likes sweet things." So you say sweet words. Say, "Oh, you're so nice. You're you look so nice today." He said, "What is it? I can't put the fingers on it. Is that a new blouse?" You know, and so it takes concentration to watch her and see how she reacts to your words. That's what it takes to win the heart. Yes or no? Why? Because the girls, on the other hand, says, "Oh, he really pays attention to me. I'm the most important person in the world for him right now." Yes or no? 9? Did I hear 9? Huh? So far, so good? Don't you like it? You like it when men come to you? Hey, never mind. That's here from their side. Don't you like it when men come to you and does his best and really puts his mind into coming up with things to tell you the way, whether it's verbal, whether with the look, whether it's with the small gifts, and the small flower and the small gestures, and pay attention to your little things. Yes or no? No? You are not helping. Let the girls speak for themselves. Agree or disagree? Agree. The front row agrees, the back row says, "Nah." It won't work with me, the back row said. You've been married too long. That's why. Your husband neglects you now. Hey, give me a beer. Okay? That's what happened after, young men. Okay? After. Before, we have to be careful. We have to be on our toes. So we win their heart first, and then we enslave them. And that's the weakness of women. Once women love you, they do anything for you. And so that's my whole point. My whole point is that in order to win the heart, it takes a lot of concentration to say the right words. Yes or no? How come I know this when I'm, I have no hair in my head and dress funny? Huh? Okay? This is something that is meant by your speech is good. Okay? However, if your mind is not, you too.
Yes, from Diego Alfonso. When you concentrate, you reduce afflictions. Then wisdom can shine, and you will speak without stupidity.
Are you done?
Yeah.
He's been married too long. God, I'm glad I'm not married. So you need to concentrate to express yourself. That's what good words means. Okay? That's you. Okay? But if the mind is not, refers to the fact that if your intentions are not honorable, will be disastrous consequences. Agree, disagree, girls. They'll make a spade, trust me. Yeah? No? Okay. The point here is that you should concentrate on doing good. You concentrate on apply yourself for a good cause. Okay, that's wisdom. The wisdom is the good mind. The speech, good speech is the concentration. Agree, disagree. I'm just using for fun the example because they have a young man here is of that age already. You know, about time someone of that age comes. And I don't want him to walk away and say, these guys are boring. They have nothing for me. They talk about death. They talk about old age and sicknesses. Nothing about girls. And when I try to teach my disciples, boy, about girls, because the master only talks to me about girls. What's the matter with master? Okay? So, but it's the same principle. Okay? Same thing at work. If you use good words to chase after the wrong products, the wrong projects, for just to serve yourself at the expense of others, it's not a good, it's a mismatch between concentration and wisdom. You're abusing it. You're abusing your concentration. Questions or comments? Okay, good, we move on. If mind and speech are both good, inner and outer are alike, and concentration and wisdom are equal.
若心口俱善，内外一如，定慧即等。
Folks, this is important. Okay? This is what we call, young men, integrity. We are who we say we are. We don't put on airs. We don't pretend. Okay? And that's very important. It's called integrity. And you know what? Especially for men, okay? If you want to have a good professional reputation, you need to have integrity. You cannot make empty promises. You gonna make false promises because it will haunt you. Ask the Koreans. The Koreans are very keen for them because it's a small country, small society. Therefore, their reputation precedes them. They cannot fake it, okay? Because they call. I remember I ordered, I decided to buy a statue from this person, and from this Korean guy, and I remember the first thing I asked you is does he have a good reputation along that line? That's very important. You want to have a professional career. You need to be credible. You need to have integrity. You know why? Because if I believe in you, I go out of my way to send good people to you because I know you take good care of them. Does it make sense? All the professional, successful people I know have the integrity. And you know you can trust them. And that's the best advertising for you, word of mouth advertising. Same thing with monks and nuns. We need to have integrity. Okay? That's what it's meant by if mind and speech are both good. It's goodness we're talking about. Goodness is that good intentions. We try to help others, not put ourselves before others. That's called a lasting relationship. If you intend to stick around, you have to build up your reputation. You have to have integrity. Same thing. Your wife sticks with you because you have integrity. She can trust you. And you're a good person. Okay? And this is what people who are short-sighted only focus on the short-term benefits, and when they don't skip town, they don't do very well long-term. Okay? Inner and outer alike. We are what we say. We say what we do. We do what we say. Okay? Inner and outer are the same. Then concentration and wisdom are equal. Isn't it fascinating? He talked about teaching. He taught Chan. He talked about mouth and mind. And that's the application of concentration and wisdom. Isn't it beautiful? Who says that Chan is impractical? Chan is daily life, folks. Chan is that when you open your mouth, okay? You focus. The more you focus, the more goodness from your heart comes out. More and more of it. Questions or comments? Okay, move on. Oof, we survived that one. Self-enlightenment, cultivation, and practice are not a matter for competition.
自悟修行不在于争。
Self-enlightenment, 自悟修行。Unfortunately, I disagree with the translation. Okay, it's not the intent here. What he means is that when you cultivate and you apply yourself towards self-enlightenment, you apply yourself. Okay, you cultivate and you practice. Okay, the different Dharma doors. You apply yourself, you practice different Dharma doors in order to enlighten yourself. That's what it means here. However, translation doesn't sound like it, does it? Self-enlightenment, enlightening, becoming enlightened requires you to apply efforts, number one. Okay, number two, you have to sing, is to use the Dharma doors, a method of practice. You don't just apply yourself alone. That's not enough. You have to sing, is you practice a certain kind of practice. What do we practice here at BLI? What do we do for practice? You have to think. After all this time, you still have to think. What do you have to practice? Okay, I'm glad I asked. You're here, BLI, we're practicing the 6 paramitas. Yes? That's the basis of all the Bodhisattva practices. Practice giving, practice, what else is? Morality, be a good person. Number 3, you have to think. Patience. Number 4, Vika. Vigor, okay. Vigor. Number 5, concentration. Number 6, wisdom. These are the 6 practices that are the umbrella of all the Mahayana practices. If you ask anyone who practices Mahayana or you practice anyone practice Hinayana, it's all included in the 6 paramitas. All of them. All fall within that umbrella of 6 paramitas. But actually Mahayana is much more precise. It's not Hua Tou. It's not mindfulness meditation. It is the 6 paramitas. Okay? Furthermore, it's not just the 6 paramitas. We also teach you something else in order to make sure that you nurture your bodhisattva heart. That's in the form of universal worthy bodhisattvas 10 practices. Number 1, bow and respect to all Buddhas. See? 6 paramita is not clear. So it says, if you're not clear, if you do these 10 things, they are included. These are the details of the 6 paramitas. Okay? That's what we recite every morning. The 10 practices of universal worthy bodhisattva which will help you become a Buddha. Directly. Is it clear? Okay? So that's why he says cultivation here means that your spiritual your efforts in applying the various Dharma doors, okay, in order to become enlightened. So it's not separate. It's not self-enlightenment cultivation practice. No, it's you cultivate your practices in order to become enlightened. It's not about competition. That's what he's saying. Is it the same as the translation or not? No, you're right. Is that clear? So he says, when you seek enlightenment, okay, you seek to become enlightened, it's not a competitive thing. So far, so good. But when you chase girls, it's competition. It's positioning. We position ourselves to be good. and gentle. Boys don't know how to be gentle. Oh, never mind. Next. If you fight for first and last, then you are like a confused man who does not cut off ideas of victory and defeat, but increases the ego dharma and does not disassociate himself from the four marks.
若争先后，即同迷人，不断胜负，却增我法，不离四相。
Okay, all right. Can we continue or is it time is up? Oh God, today is 2 hours. Yeah. You fight for first and last. Okay. Fighting for first. Okay, you're like confused man who does cut off ideas of victory and defeat. Okay, it's clear, right? You seek victory or defeat, you're confused. Okay? Let's agree on that. That's what he says so far. Okay? Then he says, you fight for first and last. You fight for first, understands competition. Yes. Okay? Everyone wants to be first. Okay? I was thinking, when we chase girl, we should be first or last? Never mind. Okay. So you fight for first, that's our natural tendencies. What about last? Why did he say first or last? Why couldn't he simply say, if you fight for first? Huh? You're sitting there wondering, why does he give himself a hard time? No one noticed. Why did he have to go for last? Yes, 4.
Thank you, Sifu. Last means you take loss. You wanna have others have the best. For example, during lunchtime, we have food that's served. You let people eat the best one, and then you take the crumb.
Really?
Or if you happen to be the first one who eat, then eat the one that look ugly first, so the one who come later have a good one.
Seriously?
That's how my dad taught me.
Okay, we learn something new every day. What can I do? Okay? No. Anyone else? Why do you say you fight for first? 若争先后. Okay? Fight it for last. Why? Reebok. 4.
If it's something beneficial to you, you want to fight for first, and if it's something that's not good, you want to leave with the other person. That's last.
You are devious. I thought I knew you until. Yes, 5.
Amitabha Master, you still fighting, so you're still confused.
But last, why last?
You still have an idea of fighting, then you're still confused.
Why can't he say, you fight for what you fight? Forget about first, if you fight.
Yeah, you fight, then you're confused.
But why did he specifically, he's Chinese. Okay, why did he specifically spell out first or last? Why?
Interesting. Yeah,
see?
I'm Vietnamese. Yeah, I'm not
You're
Chinese.
Vietnamese, so that's his excuse. Yes, Chinese person, number 6.
So there's a Chinese old saying, 谁笑到最后，谁笑到最好. Kind of like whoever get the last laugh is the actual winner. I don't know if that applies for this situation or not, but it's just my humble opinion. Thank you, Master.
Okay, translation. What's that phrase?
The Chinese is 谁笑到最后谁笑得最好. Kind of like who.
It's not always true.
Not
It's
always
you,
true.
You come to our lunch hall and you wait too long, all the good food is gone.
That's true. Thank you, Master.
It's
Okay.
more who has the last
He
laugh.
says if you wait until you last, you usually end up with the best. It doesn't work with girls, forget it. Okay, no, two Chinese. Yes, Chinese person. Two.
So my understanding is it's not necessary the first or the last, because usually when you say 先后, it just means the order. So it means the order does not make a difference. So I guess that's what it means.
Then why Chen?
什么?
If you have an order, he said you fight.
Because people still differentiate different order. So they still view the order as it still makes difference to them. So that's why it's
Okay.
not true wisdom. I don't know.
Okay. Take a stand. Don't be so weak. I don't know. Just say I know. Be assertive. Yeah. Anyone? Yes. The other Asian person. And you all have I only have Asians here. Yes.
Dạ thưa thầy, cái này con ví dụ giống như là tình cảm trai gái là nếu như mà người đàn ông đó mà là người yêu đầu tiên của người con gái thì cái đó là mình được chiến thắng, mình là người hưởng được những cái đầu tiên. Còn nếu mà mình là người cuối cùng là mình sẽ được người cô gái đó tới cuối đời.
I don't think this can be translated. You married, right? No wonder. Huh? You see, even Ahong is not going to touch you with a 10-foot pole. Ahong said, no translation. Yeah, yuppie. Hey, about Koreans, what do you think? Why is there 5 for first and last? You're Asian? You Confucian disciples? Huh? What's this fighting for first and last? Come on. Or don't you do that in Korea? Do Koreans fight for first and last? Oh, so they're all hard of hearings. Am I being translated, by the way, Sang-wook? Sang-wook Sunim, am I being translated? Sang-wook. Come on, Koreans, save your, You too.
When, this is from Diego Alfonso, when chasing a girl, you yield is not about you picking a girl, it's about a girl picking you. That way, she'll be loyal and trustworthy. Ha, ha, ha.
What kind of man are you? Jeez. You agree, Brady? Did you let the girl pick you?
Oh, Master, times have changed.
Okay.
Also, we have from Empty Mirror, not fighting for last is to avoid being the most ascetic. For example, someone trying to set a record for fasting.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay, Koreans, go back to Koreans. You got plenty of time. Come on. Why last? Huh? You don't do that in Korea? In your Korean culture, you don't do that? See, in America, it's everyone understands first and last. It's an obsession with it, first and last. But what about in Korea? I'm curious now. You fight for first or last, or no? Teacher Haesun, let's hear some wisdom. You fight for first and last.
저 지혜 없습니다.
상옥스님 안 돼요.
Okay, I'm just curious. Okay, while we're trying to iron out the...
I don't have wisdom.
I what?
I don't have wisdom.
I don't have wisdom, okay. So, who fights for last? I'm curious. Who fights for last? I know fighting for first, everyone understands that. Who would fight for last? No, that's not ask her. Who fights for last? Koreans, do you fight for first or for last? Easier for them to answer. Who in Korea fights for last? You know, they're looking at each other. Who's going to raise your hand first? That's what they're looking at each other. Who's going to go first? Yeah? How about who fights for last? Are you alive? Who would like to invest in real estate in America? Go ahead, GMT.
항상 마지막에 먹는 것을 기다립니다. 맨 마지막 입을 제가 처리하려고 생각하는 것 같습니다.
You have a new boyfriend.
네, 만나고는 있는.
네, she had a new boyfriend. She told me as soon as I came to Korea the first time, she dumped her boyfriend so that she could be, go to the temple.
I'm trying to eat the last portion when I eat.
Okay, answer the last question.
지금 이미 생각하고 있습니다.
I'm thinking like that.
Come again?
I already think like that.
Like last? She fights for last. Okay. I am going to go out on a limb, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, the Chinese, this is a Chinese culture where the form of yielding is that you go first. Okay? Like, I used to have a Chinese friend who would shook my hand, and he would flip his hands over, underneath. And I have to put my hand on top of his. So he's like underneath me. He said, right. Okay, yeah? 2.
Now I realize that in the Chinese restaurant, and I also noticed in the Korean restaurants, even in the US, people literally fought for paying the bills.
Yeah,
they were fighting each other, like grabbing
exactly
each
what
other.
I'm thinking of. Okay, bye. Endure. Yeah? So there's like what he's referring to is that even when you fight just to yield, you fight to yield, that doesn't count. That's all he means. It's not last or after. It's 先后 is first or before or after. Okay? Not necessarily first or last. It to go before or after. Okay? That is still fighting. Okay? But it's a Chinese culture where you yield to you, so you go first, I go last. I go after you, after you, after you. Okay? You too.
Yeah, we've got a comment from Derek. He states, fight for last is a mark like fighting for first. You fight for last, it's the same thing as if you were to fight first, which means you fight for a mark.
There's some depth here. Yeah? Okay. Too happy. Yeah. Bye. Thank you. Yeah. Have a good time. Okay. Yeah. Wei Meng.
So, Master, this reminds me of traffic in LA. So, I like to practice letting somebody in when they need to get merged into traffic. You go first, and it's kind of like taking a loss. What's the loss, like 20 seconds? But that could help out.
Okay, very good. What he's referring to is kind of interesting, very subtle. It's communicated in the Chinese culture as you go first, I'm after you, I go next, and so forth. You always go first, okay? So it's quite different from our culture where we only do it for girls. You open the door. But we didn't mean it. Okay. But in the Asian culture, Chinese culture, it's like I say, please, you go first. I go after you. That's a very, very Chinese thing I notice that we Americans don't do, okay? And when we do it, we don't mean it. Okay. But the Chinese is very serious about it, okay? And they say, no, after you, I insist, I honor you, it's an honor to be after you. In America, we do it, and clearly for us, I don't know about you, the other Americans, for me, when I do that, I don't mean it at all. But I had to do it, okay? Like especially you meet another big shot, and you go to the door, you always, I try to, then I say, jerk, how would you walk? You're supposed to say no. But anyway, what he's talking about is very subtle. It's not just first or last. victory or defeat, those are the coarse forms. It's about discrimination. There's a first and last. It's a subtle discrimination. Is it clear? Because you still see there is a sequence, it's an order. That's what he's referring to. He says, live freely. If a Chinese person wants you to go first and don't feel bad at all. Don't feel as if, hey, I lost again. I'm made. He made me to go first. Or like me, when people walk through and I say, please, and then you walk through, I say, jerk. I mean, you resent it too. It's no good either. Is that clear? So he's just saying that, hey, whatever, if it turns out you need to go first, go first. You go last, you go last. Don't let it bother you. Don't even think about it. That's all he's saying. You agree? Why? You look at me and go, oh, wow, it's so profound. You're free from all the discrimination, first and last, victory and defeat. Just relax. It's just like I have some Korean disciples and Korean visitors, and we go eat, and they say, no, Master, you go first. I said, you mean it? They're so serious. It's like, no. You first. And that is discrimination. There's prejudices, if you will. Does it make sense to you? Well, it's polite and it's pleasant and everything, but to me, it's like robotic. Where, Chinese person?
I think there's a bit of imposing on others when you do that, right?
No, it's a cultural thing. It's not imposing. It's just like, that I'm expected to do that.
But there's also a little bit of, just from what I feel like, I see people sometimes do that. I feel there's that prejudice. And it feels like they have to.
It's not necessarily negative. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm just saying that it's automatic pre-programming where, for example, I'm a Sunni, I'm a monk, therefore I go first. You're a lay person, you go next. Okay? It's a prejudice. And this is very subtle here. Why do you let some arbitrary rules impose upon your relationship, the way you relate to others? Yes, there are times where, in terms of protocol, you should, Master go first, I go next, or you, old person, go first, and so forth. That's a proper protocol, and that's a good thing to do. But there are the times where you say, I'm drunk, I feel good. Okay? If that's the case, the Master should not feel, what happened? I'm supposed to go first. You know what I mean? If you allow yourself those types of prejudices, okay, to us Chan practitioners, okay, it's no good. We're free from all the worldly traditions. We only observe them because of circumstances, but we're not attached to it. That's the message. It's not fixed. Yes, there's a protocol where a lot of people, yes, of course, the monks go first and so forth because it's more adorned that way. It's more, reduces afflictions that way. But it's not all the time. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Don't feel compelled to do it every single time like, oh, Master should go first, Master should go first. You know, you don't realize sometimes Master wants to hide behind you so that he doesn't get shot first. Sometimes it's dangerous to go first. You become point woman. And that's what girls are wrong about us. You open the door, you go first. Actually, you see what we don't know what's going on behind the doors. Way Mountain.
Oh yeah, Master. I'd also, I would believe that this, it also depends on a few things. One is politeness, and also the newness of the reputation of the encounter. I mean, if somebody you've just been introduced to or something, you're probably going to want them to enter a door before you as a form of impression
Absolutely.
management.
Yeah, I let ladies go first. Okay, what bugs me is, have you seen those older movies, the war movies, where the general charges on the horse back? And he says, charge! And he goes first. I'm always baffled by that. And the other side, pew, pew, pew. I said, are you crazy? What is the matter with you? That's when you say, I'm a general, I go last. You know what I mean? I mean, you have to be flexible. If the Koreans say, oh, the general goes first, hell no, I'm American. I go last. You know what I mean? So it depends. The Vietnamese has a saying, okay? He says, when you go to a feast, you go first. When you have to cross a river, you go last. That's Vietnamese wisdom. That's your heritage, you know? We're very wise. Yes, Way Mountain.
Master, I forgot. I'm sorry, I forgot.
So much Vietnamese wisdom. He's overwhelmed. Let's get this straight. I'm the only person who's allowed to forget, okay? I'm old. Are we done with Way Mountain? Okay. So it's very subtle. This is what I like about Master Hui Neng. What he teaches in the first part, he says, hey, don't discriminate. There's no first and last. There's no fixed rule. Yes? We're not stupid. Again, the protocols of society should be observed. Okay? Absolutely. He's not saying you should not observe it. Okay? But he's saying that it should not be 100% of the time. When their conditions call for it, there's no first and last. When the conditions are there should be first and last. Is that clear? Okay. Why is that? Because it increases your ego, inflates your ego. If you have a first and last in your mind, okay, it's detrimental to your spiritual practice. And it binds you to the 4 marks. And this is profound Buddhist wisdom. Okay, what are the 4 marks, you might ask? What are the 4 marks? I don't know what the 4 marks. Oh, okay, here. Okay, the 4 marks are the the distinction, okay, of the self, of others, of living beings, of a lifespan. What is it? In your mind, he says, me. That's mark number one. There's me. I am the Sunim. I am the master. I am number one. I am number 10. I am last. That's a self. There's someone who's something. That's a self. Okay? Others, meaning that besides me, others are not as important. Okay? Or when you chase a girl, it's the totally exact opposite. Others is important and you're not important. You are important, princess. I'm here to serve you. And it works all the time. Vanessa said, what is he doing to my boy? Someone has talked to him about girls. Okay, so the self and others, meaning distinction between me is inside, others outside. Me, other is not me. Is that clear? That's a distinction between me and not me. That's others. Okay? In particular, what about living beings? Living beings is a distinction between human beings versus the rest of the beings. You have that discrimination that we humans, therefore we high in the food chain, therefore we are entitled to eat the lower living beings, the living beings in the lower part of the food chain. That's a distinction. Okay? So that's discrimination right there. And a lifespan. Lifespan here refers to how long we can live. Okay? There is a very subtle attachment for all of us, from all of us, about lifespan. Okay? For example, I asked one of my disciples, will you let go of your husband? He says, yeah, after a year. That's an attachment to a lifespan right there. 1 year equals one lifespan. Does it make sense? This, by the way, the 4 marks are the natural. Are baked into our psyche in terms of discrimination of a self, meaning more. Others is that not more. So far, so good. And living being is that not human. Okay? And lifespan is that life's too short. I got to enjoy it. Give me another year. And mine says, okay. Mine says, easy. Questions, comments? Okay. 23. Good knowing advisors. What are concentration and wisdom like? They're like a lamp and it's light. With the lamp, there is light. Without the lamp, there is darkness.
善知识定慧犹如何等？犹如灯光，有灯即光，无灯即暗。
Okay. So he says, they're the same, but they're different. It's so typical of Buddhist teachings. He says, yes, but then no. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Very wishy-washy. Sometimes yes, sometimes not. Okay? Yeah. So he says, what is wisdom and concentration like? Okay? How are they equal? 等 here, 何等, 如何等, how they equal, not like. How they equal? Okay, because here, before, he says, are equal. Remember? 等, 几等, equal. You see? See, this is when they don't understand the subtle message, subtle lesson from Master Huineng. That's why one part they translate it as equal, next part they translate it as like. See that? Because they don't understand. How are they equal? Can we fix it? You agree or disagree? You Chinese people. I'm no Chinaman. I mean, no Chinese person. Chinese so easy going today. 2.
The translation can be in which way are they equal? 如何等?
Yeah, in which way are they equal? Yeah, even better than my translation. Well, let me do it for you. I can't do it. She took over my poor computer. And she says, the girl took me over. What happened? I can't move it. Oh, Mama. See? It's not working. Never mind.
Can we repeat the change?
In which way? Replace what with in which way? In what way? Meaning how? How are concentration and wisdom equal? Okay? In what way is too long? How is more American. Chinese person. Next slide. There you go. Thank you very much. Okay. How are they equal? It's beautiful the way he explains things. How are they equal? They equal in importance. It's like a light and it's the lamp of the light. They can't be one without the others. Okay? Yeah. Meaning when there's a lamp, then there's light. Without lamp, there's darkness. There's no light. It's that simple. That's why they're equal. They're equally important. Equal here should be understood as equally important. $25. Oh, we're flying today, huh? Oh, wow. Usually I go one slide for 2 hours. The lamp is a substance of the light, and the light is a function of the lamp. Although there are two names, there is one fundamental substance. The Dharma of concentration wisdom is also thus.
灯是光之体，光是灯之用。名虽有二，体本同一。此定慧法，亦复如是。
Okay. Again, can I go? The Dharma here. I'm a lot bolder nowadays. Before, I would not touch these things because I wasn't sure about the proper translation. But here I realize that they don't get it either. So we have to take a stand and say, I know. Okay, how are they equal? The equal meaning dung here is identical, the same. Okay, so that's why he turns back to the substance and function. He says lamp is a substance of the light, and light is a function of the lamp. Okay, meaning that behind the light, the brightness, there's a source for it. Okay, that provide, that originated the light, and that's called substance. Okay, substance is the core, is the makeup. Okay, so the lamp is a substance of the light, and the light is a function of the lamp. Function meaning you have this thing here. Whatever you have right now, okay, whatever thing you have right now, when it's used for something, it's called function. Okay, meaning that you have a bell, a handbell, okay, it's a substance, and it's used as to make sound. Is that clear? So a lamp is a substance, and its function, its use is to produce brightness. That's all. Don't need to read more than that. Okay? Although there are two names, but there's one fundamental substance. It's if you will, to put it in today's terms, different facets of the same thing, different sides of the coin. One is head, one is tail. It's just one coin. And we happen to call it head or tail. Okay? But it still refers to the same thing. Okay? And that's the nature of concentration and wisdom. The Dharma, what we teach you about samadhi and wisdom is the same thing. So that's why when we teach you Chan, you sit for an hour, and I personally talk to you for an hour, okay? It's because that is to show you that your sit is as important as the talk. The Chinese training is that the sit is 1 hour, the talk is 20 minutes, therefore the talk is not as important as the sit. My emphasis is that they're equally important. Sit is concentration, like the lamp. Talk, instructional talk, is like wisdom, like precepts. That's why our American Chan is different from the Asian Chan. It's not the same way that Master Hsien Hua trains his disciples. No, we're different. You put equal emphasis on sitting and talking. Okay? In fact, the reason that he put more emphasis on the sitting and the grinding side of it, Teji Sunim, you hear me? You train to grind. You sit there still for an entire day. That's grinding. That's concentration. But where's your wisdom? Let me put it this way for you. Sitting is like your mirror. You sit a mirror there. And the talk is like you take a microfiber thing. I think I hope they use it in Korea. We here in the U.S. we use microfiber cloth. Okay, and we wipe the mirror clean. That's the talk. The talk is wiping. Sitting is like a mirror. Unless you wipe it, the mirror will not be able to do its job. So, finally, the Dharma, concentration, and wisdom is also thus. This means that this is a genius of the Chinese Chan as taught by Master Huineng, as seen by Master Huineng. He says, Chan practice is both substance and function. It cannot be just substance. You cannot simply, for example, in the non-Buddhist practices, when they practice Chan, what is the purpose? The purpose is to develop some skills. And therefore, the emphasis is on the function. Am I making sense to you? They said, if you practice Chan, okay, like Maharishi, he says, I saw a video where they practice meditation, jumping meditation. Anyone saw that video? Jumping meditation. So they sit in full like this, and they leap. Boom, boom, like a frog. I'm serious. Let me see if I can do that. I can't. I tried, but it didn't work because my legs are weak. Can you see what I mean? That's as far as I can jump. 1 inch. But so what they do is, it's funny. I know I'm making fun of it, but I want you to understand how funny it is to me when I watch these things and they said, we practice jumping meditation. What they do, they jump around on full lotus all around. They're all jumping like frogs. I said, that's meditation? Because they focus that the purpose of meditation is to be able to jump. So they focus on function. They don't teach them what is substance? That which levitates. They don't focus on that. They only focus on the actual jumping act itself. And they neglect what is that can jump? What is that can levitate? Therefore, it's imbalanced. Same thing. Don't worry, young man. We chase them. You go first. You number one. You my princess. After we got them. Now I'm number one. There's balance. Okay? And it comes on anniversary, 1 year, back to the previous time, you first, for another year. Okay? That's being smart. Okay? Am I making sense? The Koreans are too serious. They're not even laughing. Yeah? Yeah. I'm joking, but I'm trying to tell you that you cannot take things for granted. Okay? Yeah. It's always you need to look both ways. Okay? It's a two-way street. Anyway, okay. So So the dharma of concentrated wisdom is that you work on the substance and you work on the use as well, on the function as well. To work on the substance alone is useless. Okay? To work on function alone, your substance is imperfect, is inadequate. So that's why you have to work on both. Okay? Oh, time is up. Thank you, everyone. You see how in JMT it's all full house because it's the last lecture with Master Z, and they will all get emotional right now. Yeah, they all showed up and say, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you." Okay. Go have a party. Now they start, what is it, Sunday over there, huh? What time?